Good morning, market snipers. Welcome back. This is Jesse. We're getting started right at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, right on the dot as usual. If you are new to the live stream, awesome. Welcome. If you're returning to the live stream, even better. Good to see you back on here. On the first half of the live stream, we'll cover Bitcoin, altcoins, stocks, and anything else that jumps out of us on the watch list. On the second half of the live stream, we will cover your chart requests. So make sure to put in the ticker symbol, the asset name. Is it crypto? Is it stock? Put in all the details so that we can cover and search for it quickly. And obviously, none of this is financial advice. Obviously, this is for educational purposes only. And hopefully we have a little bit of entertainment along the way. So with that, good morning, good morning, good morning. Mari 1576. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. What's up? What's up? What's up? This is the Bitcoin Opportunity Zone part 2, because I think we already did the Opportunity Zone. I mean, we cover it every single day, but this is the Bitcoin Opportunity Zone, and this is what we're seeing, right? This yellow line here represents Jason. Good morning. Welcome back. Good morning, good morning, good morning. This yellow line here represents 2022, right? The 2022 fractal. Well, it started November 2021, and then 2022, and then as you can see, the breakout over here would have been January 2023, and I was buying the right dip. Buying the right dip. Not buying, I wasn't buying the dip all the way down. I waited for a higher probability reversal. And I was buying the right dip at 16,800 with 5x leverage. Right? And so that's what I'm going to be looking for again. Even though this is the opportunity zone, and even though historically this has been the best time to buy Bitcoin is when price is below the 200-week moving average. Or not the best, in my opinion. It's been a good time to buy Bitcoin underneath the 200-week moving average, SMA, the blue line. But the best time to buy is to buy the right dip, right? Because even if you start dollar cost averaging over here at, say, $57,000, or you were dollar cost averaging over here, yeah, historically that looks pretty good. But if you started to dollar cost average over here and then price went down to 15,000, you're holding a 30% losing position for 210 days. And we are trying to outpace inflation. We cannot control what others can control as far as spending habits and the dollar weakening. And we can't control any of that. The only thing we can control is that our investments, our swing trades, whatever you want to call it, an investment is just a long-term swing trade, right? Unless you're just going to hodl forever. But I would never personally want to, and everyone's got their own strategy, but I personally would never want to hodl through a bear market. Because what if the bear market keeps bear marketing? Altcoins, as an example, many of them have been in a bear market for 5 years. With inflation running against us, not only are you holding a losing position for 5 years, you're losing to inflation. You're getting hit twice, right? So I was buying this dip at 16,800, 5x leverage, pending buy signal on the daily chart. Weekly chart had bullish divergence. Weekly chart was starting to make a move as well. We had just gone through a 12-month bear market. Things were aligning. The trending dots were all the way down here. Trending dots were even coiling up, right? So everything was aligning. And we were ready for it. We were ready for it. I was calling it out in real time. Calling it out in real time. I wasn't saying buy the dip because I don't give financial advice, right? I wasn't telling you, you need to buy Bitcoin right now. I never say that because it's always a risk at the end of the day. And I don't give financial advice. You have to make your own decisions. And to make your own decisions, you should know what you're doing, right? You shouldn't be following people blindly and copy trading them, uh, even if they have a great track record, because the next loss is around the corner. Oh, Mighty Kirk, what up? What up? What up? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome back. Good morning. Thank you for all the knowledge. Thank you. Thank you. Raphael, Rico, 389. What's up? What's up? What's up? So I was buying the right dip. I didn't need to dollar cost average below the blue line. Historically, it's been a good time, but I'm still going to wait to buy the right dip. And not just because I'm trying to be a hero. Not just because I'm talking about it or a talking point, but it's because of this one reason. And the one reason is, what if the dip keeps dipping? What if the NASDAQ and SP 500 and the indices go into a dot-com bubble-like crash? What if the indices like NASDAQ, SP 500 go into a 2008-like crash? If that happens, dollar cost averaging below the blue line isn't going to look as good. Still better than buying the top? Yes. Is it still better than buying the dip all the way down, like all the talking heads say to do? Yes. But is it the best strategy? No, not in my opinion. My opinion is to buy the right dip. And we've talked about this because what if that dip keeps dipping? And what if we are in a prolonged bear market? And what if it takes a lot longer to play out and the buy the dip is down here, right? What if the dip is way down there? I don't want to be dollar cost averaging up here below the 200, even though historically that's a good time to do it, because this doesn't even show wicks. I don't want to be down, and at any point do I ever want to be down 70% and holding it for an additional year or longer. No way. So even though it's a great time to buy, even though historically, even though it's better than buying the dip all the way down, even though it's happened every time in the past, this time could be different. And so I will personally wait to buy the right dip because I've already proven that I can buy the right dip and I can spot the tops, I can spot the bottoms. I've already proven it to myself, and that's the only thing that matters. The only thing that matters is that I'm confident at buying the right dip because I've already proven it time and time again. So I'm not worried about buying the right dip. Usually I buy it once. Usually. But I have scaled in before. And the only reason why I scaled in once before on a swing trade was because it was with 10x leverage and I was less confident September 2021 after I just nailed 32,300 July 2021 breakout with 10x leverage to the upside on a long. September, I went long at 44,000 and price was breaking out. And I was less confident than I was at 32,300. And so at 44,000, I did scale in. It was also a bigger position. Well, not bigger than 32,000. It was a good size position to where that trade ended up being, 6 digits, but I scaled in on that one because, um, it just seemed slightly more risky, so I was scaling in with 10x leverage. But normally I buy like the 5x leverage I bought at the bottom of January 4th, 16,800 was one buy. My man, you are so dedicated. You deserve to keep winning. Yeah, 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 yeah. Great fortune and health. Thank you. Appreciate that. Here we are. Every single day the stock market is open. We're still here. We're still doing it. And hopefully everyone is snipering the markets together. Hopefully it's just not me. Hopefully people are making life-changing moments to the positive. Will everybody win? No. Will everybody make money? No. But historically, day traders, probably less than 1% are profitable over a 2-year span. And I've even talked about that in the recorded coaching. And if you're unsure how to do all this, we do have recorded coaching, right? And it's 70 plus hours. So these live streams, I don't even cover everything, right? I just cover the charts mostly and show you what I'm seeing on the charts. But if you really want to take a deep dive and run this yourself, that's what you should do. And the recorded coaching used to be $79 a month. You can find it on Market Sniper Pro or you can find it on Jesse Olson. But we end up including the recorded coaching with everything else. Everything is included. And recorded coaching is included. Recorded coaching was $79. Now it's $49. We have one plan. One plan, $49 a month. And it includes the recorded coaching. So that's where we're at. And you would just come over to here. And these are all the videos. Psychology, divergences, even starting with basic trend lines, everything that we've ever looked at. Here's Oracle. Not to jump around, but Oracle's been on our watch list for a while, and it broke out. It's a pending buy signal right now. So gaps already mapped out, all that stuff. So we'll come back to it, but this charting system with gap detection, the sniper indicators, all built in. We still have trading view indicators, but I converted the trading view indicators over to Python. All this code is run on Python, and trading view is Pine script. So 2 different languages. And so we converted the Pine script sniper indicators that were originally built and convert them over to Python, and it runs on our own charting system. And so you got the sniper ones, but then you got like the simple moving average. I have the 200 week on there, and then I have the auto trend lines on there. I have the chart patterns on there, gap detection on there. So all stuff on there for the charting system. And then I put on this target box as well, like that. So still has some we don't know exactly how the TA is going to work out, but it could be something like that, right? So pending buy signal just filled this gap right here. This gap was just filled. And you've got this 7.2% gap up here. So it's already all pre-drawn for you, right? And then, of course, you can go over to the screener too, and you can look for like bearish divergence on the weekly chart, switch it to the daily chart, bearish or bullish, either way. And you can kind of zoom out here. That's the daily chart of Berkshire Hathaway, also breaking down on the daily chart. But if you look at it from the weekly chart, right? Kind of zoom out. Oh, I still have it in the drawing. I always do that. Uh, there you go. So this is the weekly chart, pending sell signal on BRK.B. And you can find that on the screener, right? Like the screener found it. And then I mapped out all the targets, stuff like that. So the screener found the bearish divergence on the weekly chart, bearish divergence, maps out the gaps for you, reverse candle, overbought, pending sell signal. Trend lines automatically drawn for you. And then, of course, you can go to the daily chart, and it's breaking down on the daily chart as well. So had a sell signal on the daily chart, pending sell signal on the weekly chart, bearish divergence on the daily and the weekly. This was the initial drop. This is the classic. This looks exactly like our Netflix fractal that we did, where it pumped up. Did we use? No, we used a different one. So this fractal is playing out multiple times. This looks like the Netflix one. We'll take a look at that later. But all this is included. Long story short, for $49 a month, and it includes the recorded coaching videos. So, but the easy way, long time call up PA was insane. I wonder how you found that 6 years ago. Better than XP. Yeah, I don't remember how I found that one, but it was like during the bear market. I was like, you could always find a bull market. So it was 2022. So it wasn't 6 years ago. It was 2022. I was posting that in the Discord, and we didn't even start the Discord. Oop, mic check. We didn't even start the Discord until I think it was officially launched the last week of February, early March. And so it's been 4 years, almost exactly 4 years, a little over 4 years that we started the Discord. And I posted that PAA. But yeah, you've been around a long time. That's awesome to see. So yeah, this is the bear market. Bitcoin opportunity zone part 2, and we're not even there yet. We are over here. So we still have some time to play out. In the past, the bear markets lasted 12 months. Even though that's our main thesis, we are not married to that idea. We will stay neutral. And we'll let the charts unfold the way that they unfold, because we are not the market bosses. We are not the market makers. We are just retail, and we're trying to be the cleaner fish on the shark. Not trying to be the shark, trying to be the cleaner fish on the shark and get all the table scraps, right? So but that's about it on the Bitcoin opportunity zone. This oval ellipse is representing bullish divergence. So it's possible we get bullish divergence again. You can see the red trending dots. And we've drawn this out before, where if we saw the red trending dots come down like this, and that's kind of how I see the trajectory of it, right? So you got the red trending dots, come back, retest it, get rejected, retest, rejected, put in bullish divergence, break it, break to the upside, and then we're off to the races again to the upside. So that looks like we've still have, if we're 5 months into this, right? Let's see, this is posted there. Say we're 22 weeks and there are 52 weeks, then it's possible we still have 30 more weeks of this. But the one thing, however, it could be, if Bitcoin experiences a larger bear market of the stock market, if the stock market is in an overall larger bear market, Bitcoin has never experienced that in the history of Bitcoin. So we got to keep that in mind, right? So here's the weekly chart. Let's go back over to the daily chart. And so 2 thoughts. Will this yellow path play out that we drew back here about 10 days ago, right? Pump up, come back down, maybe price puts in the lower high, and then comes back down and hits this area down here, right? Or does it play out similar to the blue path, which is just basically a retrace? I basically traced this move here. So this blue path is this over here. So both are possible. I'm still leaning 50-50. So again, yesterday we talked about if we see follow through to the upside, then of course our we're going to lean the blue path. If it starts to sell off today or tomorrow, then it's the yellow path. So I'm 50-50 on which path it takes. But overall, it's not 50-50 whether I become bullish or bearish, because the overall higher time frames are bearish. So when the overall higher time frames are bearish, my charts are going to be bearish. My charts are going to be leaning bearish. So that's that. So that's the daily chart. We're still watching the same thing. And if we start to see it, candle closes break below this triangle, then this target lines up here at $52,000. And there's several reasons why we could see price down in here, not just because of the triangle. So the triangle is like the last thing on the list, right? Everything else is a higher importance than the actual triangle breakdown, in my opinion. So here we are, weekly chart. This was posted back on October 10th. And we're still watching it today. The weekly chart, like I said, we talked about it and we covered it. The red trending dots are still trending downward on the weekly chart. You can see it over here, still consolidating, taking time off the clock. That's the weekly chart. You can also see the 2-week chart. Kind of zoom out here. Red trending dots. Red trending dots. Expect bounces along the way. Expect bounces, right? A lot of similarities. This bounce, this bounce, this bounce, this bounce. A lot of similarities are happening still from 2022. 2-week chart. Red trending dots, then they flip green. Bear market. 3-week chart, red trending dots, then they flip green from bear market to bull market. Monthly chart, sell signal below the trending dots, then they eventually flipped red. So the monthly chart's very laggy, right? It takes a while. Just to kind of like piggyback onto staying neutral in case, there's a bigger bear market in the overall. We have to look to Bitcoin versus gold because it's never happened before in the history of Bitcoin versus gold. I don't even think I need those on there. In the history of Bitcoin versus gold, we've never seen a downward sloping 200-week moving average. Never. So that's not bullish. In the history of Bitcoin versus gold, we've never seen the monthly RSI hit 34. Ever. That is not bullish. I know, Jesse. All the influencers are saying it hit the lowest ever, so the bottom is in, and that marks the bottom of Bitcoin versus gold and all that, right? Yeah, but you know what? They also said they also said that at 43 when RSI hit that trend line, and they said the bottom was in, and that it was bullish because it's it always bounces there, right? So if you look back in November, that was not the bottom. If you look back in November, that was not the bottom. It means it's bearish. The momentum is bearish. And on RSI, Bitcoin versus gold, it's the most bearish it's ever been. And then price caught up and prices dropped, right? So Bitcoin versus gold has dropped 70% so far. And it's only on the fourth red dot. Compare that to the last bear market, the total was 76%. So it's possible we see a bigger percentage further downside on Bitcoin versus gold because we're only on the fourth dot. And this time is different in two different major ways, in a bearish way, not in a bullish way. And that is the 200-week SMA downward sloping, first time ever, and RSI hitting 34 on the monthly RSI, the first time ever on Bitcoin versus gold. So, sure, stick around. Thank you for putting the details, DCR, Decred, crypto. Yep, you got it. But stick around. We'll circle back to it. Bitcoin versus the euro. Already tagged the 200-week SMA. Similar thoughts to the dollar. That's about it there because we cover every single day. Ethereum, just like Bitcoin versus gold, you don't want to see Bitcoin versus the dollar have a 200-week SMA that starts to downslope. Ethereum is downward sloping on the 200-week SMA right now. That's not bullish. That's bearish. Had the monthly sells, red trending dot right now. And if you look at other ones, XRP does not yet. Maybe this one. Nope, not yet. But Chainlink, downward sloping 200-week moving average since December. And yes, there could be a bounce, right? But long term, downward sloping 200-week moving average typically means we're not seeing a new all-time high anytime in the near future. Anytime in the near future. It started to downward slope back in December, or maybe even before that on Chainlink. August 2024, right? Here we are a year and a half later, still downward sloping, and price is at $9, right? It's been in a bear market on Chainlink since May 2021. Despite the crypto bros calling for new all-time highs all the way down. Despite all the narratives that, Chainlink is or is not XYZ to the future of payment systems, right? And it might be true, it might not be true. I don't know. I'm not just here for the tech. I'm here for the swing trades. I'm here for the tech too. I've got my own AI agent working in the background. So on my Mac Mini. So I'm here for the tech too. But I'm not just here for the tech. I'm here for the swing trades. Give me the swing trades, baby. Downward sloping near, right? Cardano, Algo, HBAR, XLM, all of it. MicroStrategy weekly chart. It's been in a bear market. It led the way. It was the canary in the coal mine. It still is the canary in the coal mine. And I've been calling that out, that it's the canary in the coal mine for years. Years. Not yesterday. Years. And this whole entire Adam and Eve double top pattern that took, you know, a year to play out, this 1 year topping pattern. We were talking about it back here with the bearish engulfing candle that, hey, Bitcoin has bearish divergence, long term, short term. The top seems to be in. Looks like Wyckoff distribution on Bitcoin, and MicroStrategy is in a bear market. And people were still calling for $250,000 Bitcoin in October by the end of 2025. And I said, the canary in the coal mine is in a bear market. There's bearish divergence on the higher time frames and the lower time frames on Bitcoin. It looks like Wyckoff distribution to me. I'm not a Wyckoff expert. I don't care to be a Wyckoff expert. All the Wyckoff experts, self-proclaimed, missed the Wyckoff distribution at the top. And because I didn't add volume to the chart to keep everything simplified, they jumped in on the comments and like, there's no volume profile. There's no volume. Yet you still missed it. You're the Wyckoff expert, self-proclaimed, and you missed the Wyckoff distribution at the top. This is the first Wyckoff chart I've ever done in my entire life, and I nailed it. I don't care to be a Wyckoff expert. I'll use Wyckoff distribution or accumulation as a chart idea, similar to Elliott Wave, or similar to a fractal, or similar to a chart pattern, but it's not enough to be an expert at one of those by himself, in my own personal opinion. So, and I personally would never pay for a course just to become a Wyckoff expert who sells courses and they miss the Wyckoff distribution at the top. It's like, what's the point? What are you even doing? So, you won't find any of that in the recorded coaching. No Wyckoff, no Elliott Wave. It's all about my strategy. But I do talk about you could add those or chart patterns, and we talk about it. We go 70 plus hours. We go deep. So, anyways, this is the MicroStrategy. Gold still playing out similar to that. Still playing out similar to the fractal that I put out back here end of January. It's still been by the dip season until proven otherwise. This is representing possible bearish divergence. This was bearish divergence. This could be additional bearish divergence. It could take some time to go through a topping pattern, just like over here. So we'll see how it plays out. And what's interesting is this long, prolonged possibility. It reminds me of Bitcoin January to April 2021. Bitcoin went through a similar 3 to 4 month, a 4-month topping pattern with bearish divergence. A lot of similarities. So we'll see if it happens or not. We'll keep an eye on it. Kind of flat today, down 0.42% on gold, but still playing out similarly, and the higher time frames remain ultra bullish. So we'll see. It's pretty far extended away from the 200-week moving average at 25.68, and it could remain extended. Dollar, still bullish on the dollar. I mean, I'm not bullish on the dollar. The dollar, we're dealing with inflation, but so I'm not personally bullish on the dollar. But the chart of the DXY futures chart is bullish. So let me just clarify that. Oh, I just spilled water. Oops. Can't even see it, but I felt it. So I'm definitely not bullish on the dollar. We're losing to inflation every single year. So if you save money and you don't make, you know, whatever the inflation numbers truly are, I don't think we'll ever know. I think they keep changing what the ingredients are that they bake into it. And I know true inflation, blah, 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 right? But we all feel it. We all feel it, especially in California. We really feel it. Uh, but the inflation, you have to make what, 4, 5, 6. Ooh, whale alert. What do we got here? 1,446 BTC transferred from so we don't know. Cool, 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 cool. Nice, 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 nice. Uh, so we have to outpace inflation. That's why I would not want to hold a 5-year bear market when we need to outpace inflation. Not only is your hodl possibly down over 5 years, but then you're down the true cost of it. So like somebody posted the other it was I think it's Quinton uh posted $67,000 sentiment of Bitcoin in 2021 versus $67,000 Bitcoin in 2020 or it was 2022 and 2026. And in 2026 the sentiment was really bad, right? And my point was $67,000 Bitcoin in 2022 or 2021 versus 2025, uh, or 2026, whatever. I forget what this post was. Anyways, it actually feels like $50,000 with inflation. So 67,000 versus 67,000. The purchasing power of 67,000 from 2021 in 2026 is $50,000. Not 67. So that helps contribute towards the sentiment. People aren't making money that they were promised. They were promised a 40% CAGR, CAGR. They were promised $250,000 Bitcoin. They were promised $1 million. They were promised the moon. And reality is 5 years later, Bitcoin is $67,000 minus inflation. The purchasing power is $50,000 on 67. So drop my marker. I'm holding my marker. My whiteboard marker. So that's the thing about the thing. So that's the dollar, bullish on the daily chart, bullish on the weekly chart, right? Had the buy signal. Let me move this over so you can see it. Came back for a retest. We talked about it in real time. Is it coming back for a retest? Broke out, came all the way up to 99.685, came back, retested, and now price is pushed off. That's bullish. That's bullish momentum. So it's still early in the week. It's only Wednesday. We still have Thursday and Friday. So we'll see how the candle closes. But closing back above 99 is bullish, right? Coming back for a retest, that's bullish. And there's several reasons why we could see price come back up and retest the 200-week SMA, right? The VIX, same thing. The VIX is bullish. We're talking about the breakout. We're talking about it. We're talking about it was coiling. There was buy signals. It's battling. It's back above the 200-week SMA. It was breaking out of this consolidation. Weekly chart was bullish. Had the buy signal. Got back above the 200. Was breaking out over here. 2-week chart, 3-week chart, monthly chart, all bullish, right? That's not good for the overall markets if you're just holding in a 401k account or whatever you're doing. Whatever you're your holding strategy is, it's bullish on the higher time frames right now. And the VIX came all the way back down because it's a wild animal. And now it's pushing back up and could push up by the end of the week. Good morning. We don't need bullish divergence. It's just we've been fortunate that Bitcoin gives us bullish divergence at the bottom. Bitcoin gives us bearish divergence at the top, but we don't need it to execute our strategy. So it makes it so much easier, but we don't need it. I love it. I love seeing the divergence. And Bitcoin has had divergence for a long time, but we don't expect it to have divergence every time. So we're not concerned about it. But thank you. Thank you. Appreciate all you. That's the VIX bullish. What else? What else? Oracle talked about a possible breakout, and we covered it on the other chart already, but you got the weekly turning dots there. Daily chart gapped up with a pending buy signal. So it's possible it closes the gap and then comes up for a higher bounce opportunity. But we already showed that on here as well, right? So no need to double tap it. Let's switch over to the Magnificent Seven. Tesla bouncing. Netflix, right? This was very similar to the BRK.B and another one too. I think I can't remember which fractal I pulled it from. Let me know if you remember which fractal it was. But on this pending buy signal, we put this fractal on because we saw the bear market drop. Then it's kind of like the relief rally. And then it's possible we see a bigger drop after that. And of course, that looks like head and shoulders, right? So we called it out before the shoulder. We called it out as price is coming down. What if price bounces here and creates a right shoulder? Well, it actually came down lower, then came back up, and then we put out that fractal over here. So it's possible it puts in the head and shoulders, and that would be insane. I don't think a lot of people would be ready for that. And it's done it in the past. It's come all the way down to $16 back here, and we were talking about it. We were all over it back then in 2022. So Netflix, Dow Jones, it's already hit target one. I just got lazy, and for visual purposes, it was already hit, so don't need it on there. But target one is somewhere up here. If I eyeball test it, it's like up there probably, right? Eyeball test. Target fours. Dow Jones futures, bearish divergence at the top, really far extended away from the 200-week moving average. So there we go. Dow Jones index, Amazon bouncing around, Russell 2000 broke down, came back tested the channel, and now is rejected off of it. That's bearish. That's not bullish. There's bearish divergence up there. IWM, Microsoft. SP 500. Meta. Try not to jump around too much. I lose my track. I lose track of it. QQQQ, TQQQQ, QQs. NASDAQ futures. It's hard to kill a bull. It's hard to kill a bull, but the more it retests target 1, eventually it's going to break through and hit target 2. So that's where we're at. Apple bouncing around, SQQQ, the inverse, the bear ETF, NVIDIA holding on. Basically been going sideways since July. So 9 months, basically the same price as 9 months ago. ANF, UNH, Google, Tesla, right? That's about it. Let's see. Still holding on 71,000. So if we get a little push up here, it's going to be today, tomorrow, whatever. It's going to kind of tell us what path it is. Is it the blue path or is it the yellow path? And both of them, we're going to the same spot. One puts in a lower high, one puts in a higher high, then reverses. They all come back down the same, right? So yellow path is similar to 2022. Blue path is similar to January. So, and there could be a third option that we don't know, right? So that's just my idea of it. It'd be if I had to choose, it's like 50-50 in my opinion, but if I had to choose one, say 51% versus 49%, it'd be the yellow path because the blue path was similar to 2022. The yellow path is 2022. So it could be that. Uh and it looks pretty weak. Even though it's breaking out, it seems weak. There's no like massive big push followed by um follow through to the upside. Could that change? Sure, that could change. But overall, higher time frames are bearish. The momentum is bearish, and it just feels weaker and weaker. Like this is stronger, this is stronger, this, and then now it's just getting weaker. So kind of lines up with that. So let's go over. We had a couple chart requests at least. Let's go, or yeah, 2. So we got CL. Did you mean ORCL? Did you mean Oracle or is it CRCL? Must be Circle. Yeah, Circle and Oracle. Yep, daily chart is ultra bullish. Do you do have a gap down here. So that's one level. You have the trending dots here at 84.5, and they're going to keep going up, right? Horizontally, you have that level. Here, let's change this up so that we remember what each one is. Bum, bum. I typically do blue for horizontals and the yellow dash for gaps so that I don't have to sit there and label every single time like I used to. I'm just like, oh, I'll just keep it the same. I'll just do the same thing. Weekly chart is bullish. Mic check, good. Training dots are down here on the weekly chart at $81. So bullish on the weekly, daily chart. I mean, right now, like me personally, I wouldn't be buying Circle Internet Group right now just because I would feel like I missed the move. So the buy signal was at 83.60. Train dots are right around there right now. So if you saw a pullback like, or if I saw a pullback like this, That seems like a good or however it plays out, right? However that plays out, that seems like a good buy the dip. Right now, it just feels like chasing, and I would just move on to the next opportunity that I could find out there. But that's kinda how I'd see it as, like, playing the next one. So, if it's gonna correct and, like, let everything catch up and pull back and put that higher low in. So, right now, there's no higher low. There's bullish divergence, right? So, if you got bullish divergence here. Mhm. You've got bullish divergence there. Could be a sneaky higher low, but this was a quick pump up. So wherever that higher low is, like a more defined higher low, that would be the play, right? So without that, you know, or maybe that gap doesn't get filled for a while, right? So that's kind of how I see it. You had bullish divergence and you're getting trending dots back above. You're getting price back above the trending dots, all of that. But now it's an ultra bullish territory, and the weekly chart is bullish. So it seems like it's flipping to buy the dip season. I just don't want to chase, right? Not a lot of chart history, but the 2 week chart is pending buy signal as well. And that's about it. So, bum, bum, bum. What's up? What's up? What's up? Lucky look. And then this is the last one. Let's see. DCR. I know you've had me cover this one in the past. Probably crypto. I don't see it. Is the ticker symbol wrong? DCR. Do that one. So daily chart. Back above the 200, but the 200 is downward sloping, so it's still a caution, right? That was a massive pump. That was a good pump. But daily chart. So overbought. RSI sell signal, MACD bearish crossover, all of that. Weekly chart, 2 week chart, 3 week chart. It's bullish on higher time frames, but um, the daily chart could see a pullback, and that could be your buy the dip opportunity, right? So if it's gonna remain as buy the dip season, it's possible you see a little bit of a correction. but the higher time frames are bullish. So it's just a matter of what's your entry, how'd it work out, right? I drew a little head and shoulders here. Not sure you picked up on that. There you go. Bum, 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 bum. But however the price action plays out, right? If it's starting to break down now, if the higher time frames remain bullish, that's how it kind of work out for Decred. But this one looks like a wild animal. This one looks like you'd have to try to catch lightning in a bottle. This is not something that I'd be interested in personally. Uh, it's it looks like a classic pump and dump, and it pumps and then it reverses right back down. So, even if you're taking this one buy signal here, uh, you might be able to capture a move, but you know, next thing you know, it reverses back down. And so, if you're really good at the buy signal, hitting the buy signal or the buy button, then you better be good at hitting the sell button too. Bum, bum. Well, the main thing was um, it was 2021 and people were pushing me on X to teach them for like 6 months. And for like 6 months, I declined. I was like, no, 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 I don't want to. I don't want to. I don't want to. And then a shift happened where people were direct messaging me like, hey, I paid $1,000, but I never received anything. And I'm like, well, it wasn't me because I don't have any courses. Right. And so people, impersonators, scammers were impersonating me, charging people $1,000 on Twitter back then, now called X, uh, were impersonating me on Twitter, charging $1,000. And so after like 6 months of that, I was like, you know what? People keep asking me, and if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. I'm going to go all in. And I put in 70 plus hours. Plus, I had people requesting to do live coaching. And, so I recorded all those live sessions. And then I charged $49 a month instead of charging $1,000 that impersonators were getting. So it was over a 6 month period that was unfolding, 2021 to 2022. And then finally 2022, I was like, it was March or April 2022. We went live with the live coaching and I recorded all those videos. So that was the reason why. I never had any intentions of doing it. It seemed like a daunting task. And also is like I don't do well with reading a script. I do well with what I know. And so I was like, well, what's my outline going to be? What's the outline of this going to look like? And so you make it bigger than it actually is in your own head. And then on top of that, it was like, um, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to play all out. It's a lot of time and energy. And I played all out. I went all out. I wasn't some 15-minute, 10 video sessions and I charge $1,000, right? We've all seen those. I charged $49 and then it went up to $79. So now it's back to the $49 price plus all the tools that we have now. We didn't even have tools back then. I created my first indicator based off of the strategy around the same time I recorded videos. So that was $49 for Discord and recorded coaching videos that I was rolling out in real time. And then it went up to $79 because I was like, man, I put in so much time and energy. I need to get some of this back. uh, and then, I reinvested not all of it. I reinvested most of it back into more tools. So, you know, I kind of have a obsession over reinvesting the money back into more tools. So that's where we're at. So I've put it to good use, and I've heard good feedback on the recorded coaching for sure. So that's why. Yep. It was like a 6 month, a 6 month. It was like a buildup over 6 months of why. So, but that was my main vote. Yeah, that was my main motivation. Was people were getting scammed for $1,000 from impersonators impersonating me to teach them for $1,000. So that's when I decided to do it. And then I was like, to prove that, these are scammers out there, I'll do it for $49 a month. So thank you. I appreciate that. I wish that for you and your family too. Thank you. So let's wrap this up. Bitcoin bullish on the daily chart as of right now. We know it's bearish on the higher time frames. So we'll continue to monitor the situation. We'll continue to sniper the markets every single day that the stock market is open, and then I'm able and willing to do so. Whether that I'm on vacation, whether I'm, maybe I'm sick one day, maybe the baby's sick. We don't know. But with that, hope you have a good rest of your day. Thank you for all of your support. Thank you for smashing the like button. Thank you for reposting, restreaming, share with your friends and family. And with that, we'll see you on the next live stream. Adios. Goodbye.